why is stretching important? Now, I want to just have a disclaimer here. I understand if you want to make sure you're right for procedurals. A procedural usually is a drama. It's done on TV. It's an episodic. And it's usually a cop show, a lawyer show, or a hospital show. And I can understand if you are wanting to make sure that you can play an intern or play a cop or, an intern and a lawyer in a lawyer's office. I understand that, and that's important. And yes, you should get some TV scripts and play with them and work them. But what's really important, once you feel a sense of ownership of whatever you're going to be up for, you have a handle on it. You must stretch. You must stretch. Stretching is the artist's tool to, it's like the actor has to stretch, like the dancer stretches their legs and stretches their arms and their body so that they can be malleable and pliable to what is being presented as a dancer, what is being presented in acting. Because chances are, even if you're up for a procedural, there'll be some kind of stretch in that audition, that whoever stretches into that thing that's sitting there, whoever stretches into that, they'll book it. One thing for sure is, in medicine, in those medical shows, you have to have an understanding of language and wrapping your mouth around a lot of medical terms. Same with law sometimes. And writers have a way of writing all these things so that the show has more authenticity and seems more realistic. And so it's up to you to really understand what you're saying and be able to speak that way. And that is actually pretty simple, but that's not your stretch. Your stretch is usually emotion and character. How far can you go with that? And how do you learn how to stretch? And how do you stretch? You stretch in class. You stretch when your acting coach or acting teacher gives you a scene that is something that you don't think you could ever do, and you're afraid of it. That's a good stretch. Fear is a great sign of, I'm going to try to step up to this scene and bring it. And how do you bring it? By your tools, by all the tools you have that allow you to facilitate your instrument. Your instrument is your face, your body, your voice, your emotions, and where your mind is. That's you. And that's the actor's instrument. So it's all of those components being stretched, especially where your mind is, where your emotions are, how your body moves, your gestures, your mannerisms, your voice. Where is the voice in the scene? I mean, what kind of voice do you have? Is it high-pitched? Is it low-pitched? These are character choices. And then there's emotional choices, stretching those. And then there's, when you're looking at the scene, where are the transitions? Where are the beats? How are you going to explore the roles? So stretching is doing classics. And when I say classics, it's like Tennessee Williams, John Patrick Shanley, David Mamet, all the great playwrights. You're going to want to work all of them. Sam Shepard, Lillian Hellman, Anton Chekhov, William Saroyan. How about William Shakespeare? And the reason why we want to explore all of these different wonderful playwrights is because they all had a voice. They have a voice. And it's up to us to find ourselves within that voice. I think it was Robert Duvall who said, acting is you turned in another direction. And I love that analogy because it's identifying and connecting the character inside, but shifting a little bit so that you really have an understanding of a new part of you that identifies and connects to the role. And so that, in turn, when you play a character, you're trying a different walk. You're trying another stature. You're trying another voice. And that's how you stretch. And then when you get back to doing maybe a procedural, a scene in which you're really identifying only the emotional connection and the thinking of the character, and it's less about the physicality and less about the gestures and less about the walk, but rather more about connecting to the thing on the page that's allowing you to be in a TV show. You've stretched. You have some flexibility. You have some understanding within yourself of all the parts of you and where you can go with them. So that if a director comes and asks something of you, you can wrap your mind around it, even if you had never thought of it before, even if it seems so wrong or different. You can actually attempt it and make it work. Because flexibility, stretching, allows you to know your instrument. And that, in itself, is probably the most important reason to do it.
Take the journey and please subscribe.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Jensen. I am honored to have you here watching my YouTube channel. Please subscribe.